Breaking the wall of poverty. How social business allows a future for humankind that is sustainable and joyful. Muhammad Yunus, Nobel Peace Laureate.
November 9th, 1989. This was a great moment for the entire world.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, first of all, I'm not a mathematician. So I'm usually introduced as a banker, and people kind of get shocked. Who is going to listen to a banker? These days, at least. Don't want to listen. But I come from a very different kind of background, and I was not trained as a banker. I never dreamt to be a banker. But I was circumstances pushed me into doing something which initially looked like banking and gradually became a banking of a different nature. And what I did in one village in Bangladesh, because of the circumstances of the loan sharks, I was trying to protect the people in the village from the loan shark. I started lending them the money myself. A small amount of money, it's very tiny little. It really made the people happy. So I tried to arrange banks to do the job, lend the money. Banks said, no, it cannot be done. It's not bank's job to lend money to the poor people. So after a long struggle, I offered myself as a guarantor. I said, okay, I'll be the guarantor. I'll sign your papers. You give the money, I take the risk. So that was the beginning in 1976, and that later on it became successful and created a bank out of it, called it Grameen Bank, or a village bank, and continue to do so. Today we do all over Bangladesh. We have about 8 million borrowers. 97% of them are women. Usually they take loans about $30, $40 in the beginning. Gradually they increase their loan size. After they become confident, they can do business, they can do some income generation. And today, we lend out over $100 million a month, loan averaging about $200. Repayment is 98%, 99%. So if people ask me, how did you do that? How did you figure out to do this kind of business? I said, well, it was very simple for me. I don't know anything about banking. So whenever I faced a situation where I need a rule, a discipline, a procedure, I look at the conventional bank, what they do it in a situation like that. Once I learn about it, I just do the reverse. And it works. And that's what the Grameen Bank is. Conventional banks go to the rich, I go to the poor. Conventional banks love the city centers. I go to the remote villages. We don't work in the city at all. Conventional banks like to lend money to men. We go to women. So your theory of probabilities, find out how it works. Then they want collateral. Conventional banks need a lot of something concrete to lend you money against that loan. Against that particular property. We said no collateral, because we are working with the poor, they have nothing to offer. So no collateral, no guarantee. That's fun, because then we don't need any lawyers. So we don't have any lawyers in our bank. We have 8 million borrowers, we deal with $100 million a month, no lawyers, no papers. It works. 98%, 99%. So people get puzzled. What do you do? I mean, we had all those collateral, all those lawyers, we do this banking, and they are collapsing. And you seem to work. I said, it's not only working in Bangladesh, it works all over the world. Now everywhere, even in New York City, we run a program called Grameen America and lend money to the absolutely lowest income people in the neighborhood, and 99.3% repayment. So that's what the Grameen Bank is all about. Briefly. Then along the way, we got involved with many tiny details of their life, poor people's life, about healthcare, about education for children, and so on. So I'm skipping all this. But along the way, seeing all these things and taking some actions about it, we became more and more bold. We want to create businesses out of it. Every time I see a problem, a social problem, I create a business out of it, like I did the Grameen Bank. So I did the other thing in terms of telephone service, in terms of renewable energy, in terms of information technology, and so on. So we have created more than 3 dozens of such companies. And then people say, you must be a very rich man because you have so many companies. I couldn't figure it out. Why do you call me rich man? Because I'm not. Then I realized I don't own any of these companies because that's what they're thinking, that maybe I will be owning this. I don't. Why did I create those companies? I explained to you because I saw a problem. I wanted to solve it, and I was pretty much successful, I would say, or mildly successful, whatever it is, but it works. And some of the companies that I built is a nationwide bank, nationwide companies like the Grameen Phone, which is a mobile phone company, when there's not mobile phone in the country. And we created it in 1997. Today, there's the largest mobile phone company in the country. And as a matter of fact, it's the largest company in the country, largest tax-paying corporate body in the country. So you can imagine the size of the operation that we have. Which, total number of cell phone in Bangladesh now exceeded 50 million subscribers, with a population of 150 million. So you can see how penetration went in. Then it dawned on me, the structure, the economic structure that we built is missing something. And that's what I'm adding. All the things that we do in business is all about making money. And if you are in business, you're making money. Because book says that's what you're supposed to do. We're trained to think that way, and we behave that way. We go into business, make money. If we're not in business, we invest money in the business so that I can make money more. I said, that's a kind of funny thing, because human beings are not one-dimensional beings. But business makes you so. So economic theory kind of misinterpreted human being, took the multidimensional human being and kind of filtered out everything else, kept only the one dimension, which is kind of self-centric. So self-centric human being operating the whole world, of course it creates problem. Maybe the cause of the problem is the fundamental flaw in the way, the perception of a human being within the economic system. So I said, why don't we use other dimensions like selflessness? Human beings are self-centered, selfish. At the same time, they're selfless. Every single human being, there's no exception to it. Why can't we create a business on the basis of that selflessness? Like in the first business, which is self-centric, everything is for me. Nothing is for others. And I make sure that I get everything. And I feel very happy when I get everything. The second business that I'm proposing, everything is for others, nothing for me. Can there be business like that? People say, it don't be possible. People are not crazy like that. I said, I don't think so. People are crazier than that. They give away their money. Some give away thousands of dollars, some give away millions of dollars, some give away billions of dollars. So what's wrong in investing some money in selfless investments for a cause? I'm calling it social business to describe what this business is. And this is a non-loss, non-dividend company for a cause. It's a cause-driven company. Anyway, it's very difficult for people to accept it right away. So I started creating those. Already I created some, but more specifically, now fit this bill, I started creating company. Still, people are not paying attention because it happens way out there in Bangladesh. Who cares what happens in Bangladesh? So accidentally, I had an opportunity to talk to someone who is the chairman of a big company, Danon. So I told him, why don't we create a company called Grameen Danon Company in Bangladesh, and it will be a social business. He said, what is social business? Of course. So I explained to him that you invest this money for a cause, you'll get your investment money back, but not a single penny more than that, because the entire thing is a selfless investment. So there, you concentrate on whether you're achieving the goal that you set for yourself, which must be a social goal, must be solving a problem in the society. He said, I agree. Then we discussed later on what will be the company like. So we created this company which produces yogurt. Danon is famous for yogurt. I said, let's do the yogurt thing. But this will be a special kind of yogurt. Bangladesh has 150 million people, and but half the population is under the age of 20, very young population. So and then children, which is millions and millions of children. Children are very malnourished. 46% of Bangladesh population are malnourished. Bangladesh children are malnourished, and most of them are severely malnourished. So that is our cause of this company. So what we did, we produced this yogurt with all the micronutrients which are missing in the children: vitamin, iron, zinc, iodine, and put it there. And Danon's magic is, it doesn't taste like medicine. It's very delicious. That's what they put their technology into it. And children love it. We made it very cheap, because once you are in social business, you dispense with many things. Like you don't need fancy container anymore. You are not trying to catch people and divert attention from other competitors, nothing. So it goes down. You don't need a big marketing splash that here we come. You don't have to do that. So you save a lot of money there. So it becomes very cheap. We sell it. And if a child eats 2 cups of this yogurt a week and continues for 8 or 9 months, the child regains all the micronutrients which are missing and becomes a very healthy and playful child. Parents love it. Everybody loves it. We love it. The more children we see coming out of malnutrition, the more excited we get in the company. If this yogurt company was a money-making, profit-making company, we would be asking the manager or the CEO at the end of the year, how much money did we make this year? And he will give you an exciting report. We made good money, good return, we'll give you a good dividend. Not in the case of social business. In the case of social business, we will be asking our CEO, how many children got out of malnutrition this year? Because that was the purpose of the company. So you have to show us that children are getting out of malnutrition, and ask how many children will get out of malnutrition next year. What's our plan? So this social business has to be self-sustaining, number one condition. At the same time, it will be solving a problem. So in the process, we created a lot of other such social business companies, like one we created with Veolia, water company. Because Bangladesh has a severe water problem. Our water is arsenic contaminated. Millions of people drink poison every day. No solution. And it's getting worse and worse. So we created this small, tiny little company in a village to serve about 100,000 population as a trial to build the prototype and produce yogurt, Veolia quality standard, world standard water, and make it very cheap. It cost about 2.5 cents per 10 liters. So people can afford it, can drink it, they don't have to drink the other one. This is another social business. We just started to work with the BASF. We created BASF Grameen Company to produce mosquito net as a social business. And then now we are discussing, almost finalized, a signed contract with Adidas, shoe company in Germany. The reason we did that, when first they were becoming interested to have a social business idea with us, and the CEO, I'm visiting him in his office, he invited me, and he said, what kind of social business can we do? We are interested. I said, well, you are a shoe company, let me see what you can do. After all, you have to figure it out quickly. So I was trying to say, I said, why don't you start like this? You start with some mission statement. Let me suggest a mission statement. Nobody in the world should go without shoes. This is number one statement. Number second statement will be, as a shoe company, it's our responsibility to make sure even the poorest person, we produce shoes for even the poorest person at an affordable price. How does it sound? He looked at me. Sounds very good. I said, well, if it sounds very good, then work on it. I said, what is that we should do then? I said, try to build shoes, to make shoes for the poorest people at an affordable price. I said, what would be that price? I said, well, maybe, how about under €1 with your brand name on top of it and guarantee the quality, etc. He said, do I have time to think? I said, you take your time. So he spent half a day with his senior colleagues, seriously discussing this issue. And at lunchtime, he said, I think we have come to a conclusion. I said, I would like to hear. He said, we'll do it. So they are now working on it. It's a beautiful design emerging. And they are very excited. And they are hoping to launch it in July next year during the World Cup final of the football. This will be a good occasion. So we are looking forward to it. See, this is a shoe is not just because, the reason I'm talking about shoe is not because of comfort. Shoe is a big healthcare issue. Many of the diseases in Bangladesh and many countries come through the skin of your feet. If you are barefoot, particularly parasitic diseases. If you see children in Bangladesh and other countries, you see bloated stomach. They are just carrying millions of parasites inside. And whatever we are feeding, you are feeding those parasites. And they are skinny like anything. So if they have an enjoyable footwear, they won't have to suffer from this. So there's a varieties of these things can happen in social businesses. Somebody asked me, what can we have social business in Germany? I said, well, there are so many things you can do. You figure out what is your problem. Because it's, after all, it is a cause-driven. You have to find the cause first, then you build the company. So one of them is welfare system. I said, why don't they create a social business to get 5 people out of welfare? That will be a social business. If you can find out a way how to get 5 people out of welfare system, you found the trick how to get 5 million people out of welfare. So this will be a fantastic thing to happen. So you can go enormous thing. It's all about creativity. So you can have it instead of one business world. Thank you. I know what to do. I'm ready. Instead of one business world, if we create 2 business world, I'm not harming anybody. I'm not saying stop everybody, only do things. I said all human beings can do both things. And that's the beauty of it. Instead of having one stock market where we all go to make money, all the figures he was referring to about the stock market and giving reference, this is about money making. I said, if we accept the social business in our structure, then we'll create another stock market, which will be the social business, social stock market, where we go to find out which business is helping the poor, which business is changing the climate situation as a social business. We invest, and it is done. Okay, I'm done. Thank you very much. So we can change the whole. Thank you.